Is this the largest one? 1,600 pounds. It's the second biggest ever taken by a hunter. It's 1,600 pounds. Look at the fucking size of that thing.
Dude, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Good Lord. That is immense.
It makes me think, have you seen these reports of Bigfoot being seen in Ohio recently?
Yeah, a bunch.
I kind of think it's someone fucking with people, obviously, but maybe not. I don't know. What are they seeing? Are there bears? There's bears in Ohio, I guess.
There are, and they're black bears in Ohio, and they do walk upright sometimes.
It's probably a dude in a suit, man.
It's probably meth.
They've been, I think, various sizes I've seen, up to like 11 down to 8 feet.
Yeah, but they're just guessing. You don't know how big a thing is. You have a fucking tape measure. You go, hey, excuse me, Mr. Bigfoot, stand still for a moment here.
Like
okay, stand up straight. Put this under your heel.
I used to wish so bad Bigfoot was real. Man.
Oh, I wish so bad. I had a dude at a show last night who told me his dad was one of the people that filmed the famous Patterson Gimlin footage.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, he said his dad was that guy.
I feel like we know now that it can't be real because of how many trail cameras there are in the world. Like, we would have seen him a few times at this point.
I've never met a hunter that's seen one.
No.
Including guys that are in the Pacific Northwest all the time. Although I did a show back in the day with my friend Duncan where we went looking for Bigfoot. We went to the places where Bigfoot's normally.
It's a person in an island.
A person in a Sasquatch costume, obviously.
I mean, no pictures, please.
I mean, if there's a whole bunch of them, it's probably someone fucking around. Like it's
6
all
different sightings.
March 6th, 7th, and 9th and 10th. Wow, all different people.
Yeah.
Huh. Boy, I hope it's real. It would be awesome.
That's what I'd also be like. Maybe it's just a group of friends that are high. I'm like, we're going to do every night for the next fucking week. We're all going to call this fucking number and see what happens.
Or we're going to run around the woods. But that's a good way to get shot. Like some crazy dude who's like, I'm going to prove Bigfoot's real.
Oh, for sure.
And he just fucking blasts you.
Don't do it during hunting season.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
I think it used to be a real thing. That's what I think.
Bigfoot?
Yeah.
You think it was actually here at some point?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's too many Native American words for it. The Native Americans, I think, we looked this up, didn't they? They have dozens of names that different tribes have for the same thing, a big, hairy, wild man that lives in the woods. I think it was a Gigantopithecus. I think at one point in time, it was a real creature.
Have they found any bones or anything?
Yeah, the Gigantopithecus bones, but they've only found them in Asia. They've never found them in North America. But when the Bering Land Bridge was attached, a lot of animals came across from Asia and made their way into North America through Alaska and down through the Pacific Northwest. And a lot of people have seen them in Alaska. Alaska is like a hotbed for sightings too. I think those people are cracked out. I think that's probably bears.
Right.
But I think the Native American stories, I think it's a thousands and thousands of years old thing. I think way back in the day. Like I was watching this. There's this guy named Michael Button. He's been on the podcast before, and he's a historian who's really focuses on ancient civilizations. And he was doing this whole video on YouTube about how little is left over, like how rare it is to make a fossil. Like think about how the dinosaurs were around for literally like hundreds of millions of years, and yet we only have like thousands of fossils. And what's the possibility of a fossil existing from a civilization, like fossilized human being from a civilization 200,000 years ago? It's almost none. Most things never become a fossil. It has to be like the perfect conditions to create a fossil. And so we don't really know what animals did or didn't live here other than fossilized ones. And that's a tiny fraction of what we find.
Okay.
And so if there was some sort of big hairy thing that lived here, because we know there was humans that were living in North America. Now we know that they were here at least as far back as 22,000 years because of White Sands, New Mexico. They found footprints, and then they do carbon testing on the seeds and the different organic matter that's in those footprints, and they get a carbon date of like around 22,000 years, which is pretty crazy because they used to think it was like 13,000 years ago, and now they've pushed that back like at least another 9 years. And they think it's probably, these weren't the first. There's probably people there even further than that. So if humans were here, let's say they were here 50,000 years ago, that puts it in the timeline where Gigantopithecus could have been alive. Because I think the fossils that they found of Gigantopithecus are 100,000 years old, which is just fossils, right? Like
Right.
you never know. And that they didn't find that until the 1920s or 30s. They found teeth in an apothecary shop in China. And this guy was there, was an anthropologist, like, what? Where'd you get this? Because they were primate teeth, but they were fucking huge. And so then they took him to the place and they found jaw bones and a few other pieces. And this thing, they've determined because of the shape of the jawbone that it was bipedal, so it stood up on two legs, and it was like 8 to 10 feet tall. It was a giant primate that was in the orangutan species.
Wow.
So that could be Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That could be what these people saw.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it probably existed in North America at one point in time. But around the time of the Younger Dryas impact theory, which is around 11,800 years ago, somewhere around 65% of all North American megafauna was eliminated. All the woolly mammoths, giant sloths, American lion. We had a lion that was bigger than the African lion that was in North America.
That Younger Dryas thing you're talking about, that's a comet hitting there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what ended the Ice Age, and that's what created the Great Lakes, and that's what melted all the ice that covered most of North America back then during the Ice Age.
And are a lot of scientists agreeing that that's
Yeah.
probably what happened?
Well, there's definitely debate, but there's a large group of legitimate scientists that are 100% convinced that we were hit. It's a matter of what impact did that have, and was that responsible? Because there's a berserker theory. The berserker theory is that humans just killed off everything. We got so good at hunting. But the problem with that theory is back then, like, there's not even evidence that they had bow and arrow yet. Like
We wouldn't be that good at it.
No, especially like the American lion and like mammoths and the giant sloths, and there's so much shit that we don't even know how many people were here back then. So this is like Ice Age people, like with stone tip spears.
Yeah,
is
I don't buy that.
Did they kill these things? All of them? They killed all of them?
Right.
They weren't even riding horses. They were just on foot. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's much more likely that they all were wiped out by this fucking comet. And if that's the case, maybe it wiped out Bigfoot too.
Oh, that's my favorite one. Out of all of the, like,
Me too.
Bigfoot's the best one. Dude, he's awesome.
Well, it would be a crazy thing to see, you know? Have you ever heard the recordings that these guys made that they said were Sasquatch recordings?
No.
I think they call them samurai recordings because it literally sounds like almost like they're speaking Japanese. It sounds so fake. But these people are there's groups of people out there that you'll tell them this is fake and they want to fight you.
Really?
Oh, they're all in. They're so committed to Bigfoot. The guys that we met when Duncan and I went Bigfoot hunting, they're so possessed by it.
Where'd you go? Where was the
Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
Like it was like right outside of Seattle up
Okay.
there. I met this lady that was really convincing. She said that she saw this thing. She's like, "Why is there a gorilla in the woods?" And she's like, "Oh my God, it's Bigfoot." And like, she didn't seem kooky at all. But I think what she saw was a bear, and a bear standing, like black bears stand up on their two legs and walk all the time. Especially if they have a hurt paw, they'll walk on two legs.
Huh.
I think she probably saw it. But Pacific Northwest is so crazy because I'm sure you've been up there, right?
Yeah.
The woods are so dense that it's like a box of Q-tips. That's how I describe
Right,
it. Like you can't hardly see anything. So if you're seeing some tall thing move between trees just for a few steps, that might be the only thing you see.
Right.
And your head just starts spinning and you start creating this imaginary narrative. Here's the recordings. Right there, right? Right? So this guy's talking, "Oh my God, it's Bigfoot." It sounds so fake.
I don't buy that for a second.
Not a second.
No.
But man, people, the Bigfoot dorks, like that show Finding Bigfoot. I had that dude. What's his name? Bobo. Is that the dude's name? We had him on, and I told him I thought the Patterson footage was bullshit. He's like, "No." He's like so upset. It looks so fake. It looks like a guy in a fucking gorilla suit. And then the dude that they think that was wearing the suit, what is his name again? I forgot the guy's name. But the dude who they think was wearing the suit, he looked like Bigfoot. Like he walked like him. There's like
he walked like that footage, right? Yeah.
Like he was a big old cowboy, big old fucking tall ass
John
cowboy,
Wayne.
and he had a walk like a fucking gorilla.
Roger Patterson.
Well, Roger Patterson was the guy that filmed it, right?
Well, that's right. Patterson Gimlin footage. I don't one.
Right.
I thought one of them was the one in the suit, and the other one filmed it. I'm mistaken.
But there's a side by side of the actual stupid video that they're proclaiming to be Bigfoot, and then this guy walking, and I think it was a different guy.
Yeah, it could be.
I forget his name, but it looks. I'm like that.
In the woods,
right?
And it's like that's not the question. The question is more complex than that, and I often don't see it brought up that way.
There's something about these, like today I listened to the creepiest Bigfoot story one, that one that you had with the one where the guy wrote in a story about the
burying
Bigfoot
stuff in the backyard.
Yeah, that one.
Oh.
And there's something about those that, like, even if you don't believe in Bigfoot, because I don't necessarily believe in Bigfoot, there's something about it that's so compelling. There's something about things that you don't know out there in the woods that because you don't have an accurate, a real good account of everything that's in the forest.
Of course.
You know, you look out there, it's dark, and the mind is always looking for some weirdness. The mind is always looking for something that other people don't know about, or perhaps there's like a secret that the sheriffs know about that they don't share with everybody else. Like, why does that resonate so much with people? With Stephen King movies, like, or Stephen King books? It's like that kind of a thing. There's something about it that's like exciting.
Right. I'm more of a Dean Koontz fan than Stephen King.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's great too.
Yeah.
You don't like Stephen King? You trying to throw shade?
His politics ruined it for me.
That's the problem, right?
That's the problem.
His problem is his Twitter feed. His Twitter feed's fucking brutal. It's like, dude, stop.
Right. That's nuts.
These are like the goofiest, low testosterone boomer takes I've ever heard on anything. Like, stop.
It's very true.
But he's such a brilliant writer. I also think he's a different guy because the car accident, I think that was a big one. You know, when you get hit by a van.
Well, that'll do it.
Yeah, shit. He was really, really fucked up from that. And I also think it's getting off coke. Getting off coke and booze.
Yeah.
That was the real Stephen King. I mean, I hate to advocate alcoholism and cocaine use because I don't think either one of them is good for you. But goddamn, they're good for writing books.
They're good for artistry, that's for sure.
There's something about his early stuff when he was off the rails. Like he said he doesn't even remember writing Cujo. Doesn't even remember it.
It's my favorite book of his.
It's fucking great.
No.
It's a fucking great book. So is The Shining. You know, it's another one where he was like deep in the throes of addiction and just writing this fucking captivating book. It just, what he captured is there's this part of our mind that maybe we don't talk about too much where we always wonder if everybody really knows what's going on and maybe something could happen that people didn't expect, couldn't imagine is real, and yet you're confronted by it. You know, and that's like a lot of his stories. And you do a really good job of finding that. Also, you have a creepy voice. No disrespect.
No.
I mean, in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way you tell the stories. You know, like it's just something about it. Like, It's like you're doing radio, man. You're doing radio with illustrations, but you're doing it on YouTube.
Right. Well, that's actually why I chose the name Bob Gimlin, because I you know, Bob Gimlin's obviously the guy who was there when the Patterson footage was shot.
Right.
And it has, so my Google account or my YouTube account name way before I started the channel was Bob Gimlin.
Ah.
And my real name is Brian Gagne. And all I used YouTube for was Bigfoot content and like watching Bob Dylan rips. I'm a huge fan of Bob Dylan.
Oh, cool.
So I thought Bob Gimlin was a cool name. And it kind of evokes back to like just kind of Rod Serling a little bit, just like a slower pace. Because so much of the content now is just like top 10 creepiest sightings.
Yeah.
It's like whatever. It's like I like to be a little more immersed.
Yes. You do it like radio. You do it like old school radio, like creepy radio.
Yeah.
Like when they used to tell stories on like, people would sit, before there was a television, people would sit around the radio and they would listen. Like that's where War of the Worlds, that famous thing with H.G. Wells where he had a bunch of people believing that we're actually being invaded by Martians.
And you flee your state.
Yeah. So when did you start this channel?
I think like 9 years ago, 2016 maybe.
And was it Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Have you ever had an encounter, or
No.
is it just something that's been fascinating to you?
It's just always been interesting. But so I think my talent, and I'm not even saying I'm talented, but what I have going for me, is I am so ready to believe that everything we know is BS. Like, people don't know anything. They just don't. I mean, people know stuff, but so much of what has been in history books is already wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, like, have you ever seen a chimpanzee?
Yes.
Like, would it surprise you to learn that, like, oh, there's a smarter one, there's a faster one, there's a bigger one? Like, if a Bigfoot got hit by a bus tomorrow, like, I wouldn't be surprised.
You wouldn't be?
No, I will. I mean, yes.
I would be terribly surprised.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. I don't know if they're real, but I think they might be real. This is what I think. I have a very strange take on this, and I know it's going to sound super stupid to anybody who's like cynical, pragmatist, but just bear with me for a moment. I think the boundaries between this dimension and other ones are permeable. And I have a feeling things can cross through them. And I have a feeling we are like, if an ant is, like, I have leafcutter ants in my yard, pretty wild. So cool to watch them. It sucks because they kill all your trees, but so cool to watch this long train of these incredible little beings carrying around these giant pieces of leaf that they cut off. And they're all going into their little house, but you wave your hand over them, they have no fucking idea you're there. Like, whatever senses they have, it does not seem to detect threats from things above. They don't seem to be worried.
Right.
You know, they don't perceive us.
Well, they're mission oriented.
Yeah.
And we are too. So if something is happening that's beyond our mission, I think it's hard to perceive it.
I think there's things that exist that are not perceivable.
Oh, I'm 1,000,000% in that camp too.
And I think there's heightened states of consciousness that people achieve under duress, extreme stress, fear. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of them happen at nighttime. I think nighttime, it automatically fills people with a certain sense of anxiety and fear because you don't know what's out there when you're, especially in the woods at nighttime. And I think in those times when your mind reaches this unusual chemical state, you occasionally can access these other realities. And I think that's where Bigfoot is real. I know it sounds goofy.
No, I mean, that's...
And I don't think you can go find it. That's why Finding Bigfoot is on like season 80 and they haven't found shit.
Yeah, well... But see, even if it was real, I wouldn't expect them to find it either.
No, that show's just goofy.
Or even if it was flesh and blood. It's funny you would say what you said because when I first started my channel, I was very flesh and blood type. I thought it was a very real thing, like just a bear or anything else in the woods. But a lot of commenters said, though I appreciate Bob's take on that, he will get to the woo-woo side or the spiritual side. And I was like, I am not, and I'm like halfway there already. But I don't think that I don't think that the spiritualism can be separated from anything.
How so? What do you mean by that?
I mean, I think we're spiritual beings, and I think that we're interacting with, like, kind of like the Force from Star Wars. Like I believe reality is permeable to an extent. I mean, the things that we see with our eyes and feel that we touch, there's more than that.
It's a fraction.
Right.
It's a fraction of what's going on. I think so too. I think I think that's probably the source of whatever psychic phenomenon that is real. That's not bullshit and just a bunch of hucksters robbing people. I think there's some sort of telepathic connection that people share occasionally. And I think it's an emerging aspect of human consciousness that will probably one day be as normal as hearing. I think we're just emerging from the primal. And I think also in the primal they probably have it. They probably have it in a different way. Like, animals are tuned in a very bizarre way. They just know things sometimes. and you don't know why they know things. 'Cause you're not even saying. Like my dog sometimes knows when we're going to go for a run.
Right.
He just knows it.
I've always been fascinated by how so many animals seem to innately know that we can help them.
Yes.
And they shouldn't think that.
Right.
Historically, we are not the helper of animals.
Right.
And like, be it dolphins or seals or whatever.
Or deer even.
Deer, yeah. They're just like, I'm hurt, help. And it's like, shouldn't they be afraid of the predator?
Deer have tried to contact people to get one of their friends free from barbed wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something weird. There's something weird going on that is not just as simple as we're the dominant species, we have language, we figured out consciousness, we write books. No, I think there's another thing that we just don't, it's not there yet. It's just like the original cavemen had some grunts, and those grunts became words, and now those words become huge libraries filled with books that people have written. And I think that's what's going on with human consciousness. And I think there's just got to be some reason why this Bigfoot thing has been going on for so goddamn long. I think it's an interdimensional existence. I think whatever that thing is, I think it comes back and forth. And that's why I don't find anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's, as I said, I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
Getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, because as I said earlier, like, to me, the flesh and blood ape hypothesis is not as impractical as everyone says.
Well, it used to be a real thing for sure. The problem is the size of it. You can't really hide a 10-foot gorilla.
Why?
Why? Because too many trail cams, too many campers, hikers, hunters especially.
Well, it's not like people don't see it. People see it all the time.
Hunters don't see them. No, but my friends, I have a lot of friends that are like long-range backpack hunters. These guys will go 26, 27 miles into the forest with no access roads. They just hike out.
But do hunters not see them, or do hunters not say they saw it?
No, I don't know anybody who's seen them.
No.
They'll tell you all kinds of other wild shit, but they would tell you if they saw it. None of them believe that I know, but they are wary about animals. There's real threats out there. There's grizzlies, there's wolves, there's mountain lions. Those are the things they're really worried about, and those are the things that they see. And I've had friends that have had encounters with them, and even those encounters seem in some sort of weird way spiritual. Like there's a weird connection with these predators and prey, I think opens up a part of us that we don't ever experience. You don't ever experience a thing that wants to eat you. And when you do, I think your biology is like, oh, you remember this?
Right.
And like a switch gets turned on, and these genes that we've had inside of our body for hundreds of thousands of years of us running away from predators, they get ignited. And there's this bizarre connection. Have you ever looked in the eyes of a predator?
I sure have.
What have you seen?
Well, I worked at a zoo, Brookfield Zoo in Chicago, for quite a few years. And so just this Christmas, we went there, and the lion was roaring, going nuts. And I have footage of this I can actually show you later. But it was very close, and it was roaring, and it looked like it was going to pounce. And I had no faith that little barrier was enough. And I've literally worked at the place, and I know there are fail-safes and stuff that they can't get out. But I was just like, nope, this is nuts, because I love cats, big cats too. And do you have a cat?
I don't anymore, but I've had cats.
Okay, just watching them and now imagining that they are bigger than you is
dude.
So horrifying.
I saw my first large mountain lion 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah?
It was big, like about 170 plus pounds. And my friend Colton saw it under a tree. We were driving, luckily. We were inside the truck because it was only about 30 yards away. I would have shit my pants if I saw this thing without a barrier between us. It was so big. It was so big and so terrible. It looked like a demon. Like when you lock eyes with that thing, and again, I'm looking at it through a windshield and also binoculars. So I had 10-power binoculars, and I'm zoomed into its face, and I'm seeing it just looking right at me with this pumpkin head, the big mandible muscles that go over the top of the skull. It's like, oh, Christ. And again, I'm looking at it through a windshield and binoculars, so I'm removed slightly from the actual force of the experience of its eyeballs on me. But if I was standing there just looking at it, I probably would have had a psychedelic experience. I probably would have tripped out. I probably would have gone into shock. I saw a grizzly bear once in Alberta. I saw one of those, and not even a big one, about a 6-foot grizzly bear. But it looks at you. I've seen black bears before. That was the first grizzly I saw in the wild, and they look right through you.
Yeah, to me. And I've only seen footage of grizzly bears, but every once in a while they have like this crackhead look, where it's like they're doing that thing where they're looking to see what you got.
Yeah,
like they're just like, what can I take from this? And you can't do anything to stop them unless you have a gun.
Yeah, we had guns. Luckily, we had shotguns, but when we were looking at it, it looked like it's gonna eat you. It looks like, am I gonna eat you? Like it looked like. Couldn't care less if you live or die.
Right.
Like just all it's doing all day long is searching for something slow, something with a limp, something that fucks up, something that leaves behind a kid, something that, a dog's chained up to a tree. Whoops, got one.
Right.
And that's all it's doing all day long, and it's just a big monster. And if it didn't exist, if a grizzly bear didn't exist, and there was reports of this enormous dog-like creature that eats everything and can kill a moose and lives in the woods, it would be way scarier than Bigfoot.
Yeah, for sure. Well, maybe not.
A Kodiak?
Yeah, but
Kodiak bear would be scarier than Bigfoot.
the worst things can happen than be eaten.
Oh, like the Come For Me Bigfoot books?
Yeah,
You know about those books?
No. Yeah, obviously I've heard of them.
There's a whole genre
Yeah,
of
well-
erotica written about Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's not my thing.
Well, you're a man. It seems to be ladies like they like their stuff in writing. That's what they like. They like reading their pornography.
Yeah, they also like monsters.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
werewolves and vampires.
Vampires. They like vampires that fall in love with them.
Right.
Yeah. He's going to eat everybody else, so not me.
But you can change them.
Yeah, you can change them. That's also why some crazy ladies like serial killers.
Ooh,
Yeah. Even serial killers that kill a bunch of women, they write to them.
Yeah.
Like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, like tons of women were writing to him in jail.
Ted Bundy too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Strange.
I'm a big fan of true crime, so I'm not sexually aroused by it.
Well, congratulations.
That's a good thing? Yeah.
That is a very good thing.
Yeah.
But the thing about predators versus like Bigfoot or any of these things, like there seems to be the unknown animals for whatever reason are the ones that are most perplexing to us, the ones we're most fascinated by. Like an orca, I think, is more fascinating than Bigfoot. Like if Bigfoot was just Gigantopithecus, it was just an enormous orangutan-looking creature that lived in the woods and was omnivorous and ate a bunch of stuff and tried to hide from people. It'd be kind of cool.
Les Stroud.
Yeah.
So he did that show about
Survivor Man Bigfoot, yeah.
but it just went away.
Bro, that show, I love Les Stroud. I love him. I love Survivor Man, but that show was so fucking dumb.
Yeah.
He had a guy on the show that is known in the Bigfoot world as being full of shit,
Yeah.
which is bad. Like if the Bigfoot world's pretty open-minded. I mean, this is one of the things that I wanted to bring up about that 411 The Hunted thing. There's audio recording that was supposedly taken from the 1970s from Northern California. I want to say Sonoma? I don't remember where it was. It was somewhere in Northern California, but they call them the samurai sounds. The samurai, and it's the weirdest shit ever, man. It's like these guys had this spot that they would go into the mountains and they would hunt every year. And they built this structure out there, and then they brought recording equipment, and they claimed to have recorded sounds of these animals, these Bigfoot, and that these Bigfoot were around them all the time while they were up there. Now, what's crazy about it is the sounds are so weird. It sounds like someone pretending to be Japanese that doesn't actually speak Japanese. Yeah. Have you ever heard it? No. We'll play it for you. It's because it's the weirdest shit. It sounds so strange and so fake, but like they have these quote unquote experts that say the human voice is not capable of making sounds remotely similar to this. The range is which doesn't make any sense if you know who Michael Winslow is.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
That guy
Yeah.
that guy went on.
He does a woman peeing when she goes to the bathroom.
He does everything.
Yeah, he does everything.
He did Led Zeppelin. He played Whole Lotta Love with his mouth.
Yeah.
And it sounds incredible. But this samurai sound, like, there's these loud whoops, whoops, and these guys are like in the foreground, like the guys who are recording, they're trying to communicate with these things. They sound so calm. I mean, if there really was giant fucking 8-foot apes out there wandering around, like, 200-300 yards away from you, screaming and whooping and talking, would you really, and you're in the woods, would you really be so calm? Wouldn't you be freaking the fuck out with these guys? Do you have it?
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I find the right thing because I'm stumbling across some traps.
Oh.
That people are fucking around the internet.
I wish I could remember the gentleman's name.
Well, I think I have it, is all I'm saying. So, Ronald J. Moorhead and Alan Berry, maybe? Is that right?
Yes, Ron Moorhead. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. The Sierra Mountains. That's what it is.
All right.
And so, it's the weirdest shit ever. Just listen to this. You're going to...
I read what it could be, but we'll listen first.
It could be bullshit.
Yeah,
That's what it could be.
That sounds like all aboard.
Listen to the guy. This is, hold on, stop. This is a terrible version of it.
Wow.
There's a better version of it where you can hear the guys really clearly. The people talking. I don't know why that's so scratchy. But they're like, they're over by the lake. Like, they're talking like that. And they hear this very strange sound.
And they're being calm about it.
Yeah, and these, supposed vocal experts are analyzing it. The human body is incapable of making such sounds. And that area of... You got it?
I don't know. It says HD. I don't
Okay,
know if
we'll
it's
hear
better.
In for Nightville.
Yeah. They're knocking. That's another thing that Sasquatch do. They knock. That one's weird. Scoot ahead a little bit and hear the samurai sounds. Still sounds terrible. Anyway, these people believe that shit. Les Stroud was balls deep in this.
With that guy.
Deep. Apparently, he had an experience, and I talked to him about his experience. It's pretty interesting. He was in, not with that guy, but he was in Alaska, and apparently he heard some crazy noises, like some monkey sounds outside of his, in the middle of nowhere. No one was anywhere near. And he said he heard something run away, some bipedal sound of something running away. But again, even though he's an experienced woodsman and he's a guy who's, camped out countless nights in the middle of nowhere and survives in the middle of nowhere and documents it. Like, he's the reason why those survivor shows exist.
Yeah.
Because that guy literally would starve to death and try to eat, like, bark and whatever the fuck he could for 7. You could see his face, like, sinking in. He was losing weight. I mean, he really did do that. He did all sorts of different things to try to survive and then documented how he was doing it and what he would do. But he got obsessed with Bigfoot and then developed that Bigfoot show. And unfortunately, a lot of people lost a lot of faith in him because of that. They're like, no, you're the legit survivor guy, and now you're doing this show, and this is why it's ridiculous. There was one episode of the show where they had this guy who he was with who had video of a Sasquatch, like high definition video, and it looks so fake.
Yeah.
It's like he's like the Sasquatch is looking at him through the woods, and he's like, there he is. And it's a guy with a mask on.
That's how
I
he
mean,
goes. He yells out, "I'm a Sasquatch." You're like, "Oh God, he just yelled that out."
Oh, yo. Makes the samurai noise.
Bigfoot.
But this, the guy who had the video is known to be like full of shit. And here he's got this guy on a show, and then he, is this real? You be the judge. Like, yeah, I'm going to say it's not real. It's a guy with a fucking mask on.
I think I did read that guy was very not respected.
Yes.
In that.
By the Bigfoot community.
Yeah.
The Bigfoot community. Again, very open-minded.
Yeah, very just into everything.
This other thing, like they would see trees that would fall over like in certain patterns, and they were convinced that Sasquatch was leaning these trees against each other.
I thought it was to let you know where not to go.
Yeah. They had this idea. I mean, it's all theory, right? This idea.
Yeah, I think I've been following the wrong guy, dude. I believe all the stuff that you like's fake. I'm like, yeah. I only watched that Les Stroud one because of that other guy.
Well, I want it to be real. That's the thing.
I do too.
If someone had a convincing Bigfoot encounter where they caught it on video, where I was like, "Holy shit, what is that? Like, what is that?" Or there was something, but there's nothing. Like I've talked to a lot of those people when I did this show called Joe Rogan Questions Everything for Sci-Fi, and me and Duncan Trussell actually went camping in the Pacific Northwest. We didn't really camp. We pretended to go camping, and then we went to a hotel.
Yeah.
And then we came back the next morning, like, well, rough night of camping. But we were out there for days trying to look for Sasquatch and talking to people that hunt for Sasquatch. And the one conclusion that we came to is it's a bunch of unfuckable white dudes. Like, that's
just out there. Yeah.
Just out there camping.
Yeah.
It's just, but the desire for it to be real is so strong.
It would change. I watched, like that Finding Bigfoot show. I used to always think, because people are like, why is it on? I'm like, I don't know, man, because it's fun to watch. And if they find him, the world is different now. If they come back with Bigfoot, everything's different.
Everything's different.
Everything's getting different with the alien thing.
Yeah.
The fact that they're saying that's like true, you're like, it's a lot, dude. That's a lot to take. If we get, I know that they have the videos and stuff, the aliens, but like if we get up straight up, start talking to one, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, here's something that came out today, Jamie. I'm going to send you this because Sagar and Jetty from Rising on the Hill and I have been going back and forth with this, and I found this today and sent it to him. It's I'll send it to you right now, Jamie. It says paradigm-shifting UFO tech that alters space-time is operable. U.S. Navy Chief Tech Officer. So it's some story that I didn't bother looking into because I saw it when I was on my way out the door. And I was like, what in the fuck is this? Because there's been all these sightings of these things that move in some weird way. Paradigm-shifting UFO tech. There's these things that move in this weird way that don't show any propulsion system. And, due to censorship, please join us on Telegram. I'm going to say, documents obtained by the Drive show the revolutionary technology that has capability to alter space-time may actually be operable, according to the Naval Aviation Enterprise Chief Technology Officer, Dr. James, how do you say that name? Sheehy? What do you think?
Operable in quotes? What is that?
I don't know. Good question. Reflect on why is technology that has the potential to change the entire human experience for the better always used for the defense purposes and military applications? What are the betterments? What about the betterment of humanity? Yeah. I don't know. But it's Christopher Mellon, who's that guy who keeps coming up with all this UFO tech stuff. Can you scroll back up, please?
It's someone's just like writing. I was reading through Twitter. It's like a story. It's not really like an article.
Right. Twitter feed of Christopher Mellon, the former Deputy Assistant Defense Secretary for Intelligence from 1997 to 2002. Doing so, I came across an interesting post from the Drive regarding documents they received via the Freedom of Information Act regarding a space-time modification weapon developed by the U.S. Navy, which apparently has already gone through experimental testing. This in turn led me to evidence suggesting that other revolutionary type of technology that could no doubt be used to change the world for the better, blah, 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 was already operable. Yeah, I don't know. But this is what if you pay attention to the UFO world, do you pay attention to that shit at all?
Not like actively.
There's a guy named Bob Lazar. And
I do know that from because you talked to him.
Yeah, it was one of the weirdest conversations I've ever had. Because you're like, I mean, are you crazy? Are you full of shit? Or is this real?
Yeah.
Because if it is real,
wild.
this thing is a special effect created. A guy who was a special effect artist. Do you remember his name, Jamie, who made this thing for us? This gentleman. He's got a designs by Perry at Instagram, and he created this thing, and this is like a scale model of what Bob Lazar supposedly worked on. He was hired by the United States military to work at Area S4, which is part of the Area 51, Site S4. Site 4 was this place where he allegedly worked to back engineer these spaceships. And the way these things moved around was exactly how this Christopher Mellon guy, or this article rather, that quoted him as describing, that they used some sort of gravity, space-time bending technology. So they didn't use a propulsion system like a rocket, which shoots flame out the back. They bent time in front of them and just would shoot instantaneously to wherever the fuck they wanted to go.
So you'd be like instantly be able to go.
Instantly. What's fucked is that there was an instance off of the coast of San Diego in 2004 where a Navy pilot by the name of Commander David Fravor, who I've also had on the show, experienced this thing that they call the Tic Tac UFO. They tracked it with radar. They tracked it with the camera systems on their plane, and they even have video footage of this thing. It went from 80,000 feet above sea level to 1 in a second.
Wow.
That's the amount of time that it takes radar to do the blip, blip,
Yeah.
blip, blip. So in that time, it traveled 80,000 feet. They have no idea how the fuck it did that. It shows no propulsion, heat signature. They took video footage of this thing, and it went from there. It took off where they couldn't even follow it with their eye, just disappeared to the predetermined destination where they were supposed to coordinate later. So it's like it's reading their tracking systems or reading where they were going. And the people that worked on the aircraft carrier were telling the fighter pilot, like, we've been seeing these things over, we see them like every couple of weeks. We have no idea what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
And they just say, well, there it is. What are we going to do about that?
Yeah. I like to picture an alien in that Tic Tac. He's like, "Whoa, slow it down, dude. You're kind of crazy right now." Like he's having a bad day in there because he's got to be having just a day. Whoever's in there, some kind of day, maybe having a day. It's a lot to. Yeah, I don't know. You think it's like a lot to just tell people? Like if they had to be like to tell like just Earth, all of us humans on Earth, to like wrap our head around what would happen?
I think, what do you say if that's all you know? Like if you are the military and all you know is that something can do these things, something can move at this speed. The New York Times had a front page article about it a couple of years ago. And basically they're saying, hey, there are videos of things moving in a way that we don't understand, that aren't exhibiting a heat signature that indicates a propulsion system. We don't know what it is. And then there's the COVID-19 bill that just got passed, and one of the provisions in the COVID-19 bill is that they have 180 days to release all the information they have about UFOs.
That's a lot,
But I don't know if they're going to do anything with. I think they're going to do nothing.
That's funny
with
that it's in this.
They go, yeah, we don't have anything.
COVID-19 bill.
Yeah,
like that's
a lot of weird shit was in the COVID-19 bill, like foreign aid. There's a lot of foreign aid to Pakistan, aid to all these countries. It's like people just to get it passed. They're like, okay, we'll say yes, but I want you to do a little favor for me and put this in the bill.
Yeah,
and there's just shows you how greasy politicians are.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
yeah.
But that's allegedly what all that UFO technology is.
Wow.
It looks fake.
Yeah.
Everything that looks fake is fake.
Is it a person in a suit?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a guy walking.
It's a guy in a suit?
Yeah, 100%. Although I did get really high once, and I was convinced that it was really Bigfoot, and I was being an asshole all this time. I was like, oh my God, what if that really is Bigfoot? I've just been a dick. Because these hardcore Bigfoot believers, that's their footage. The Patterson. But there's so many problems with that. First of all, Roger Patterson literally got arrested for writing a bad check to pay for the camera that he used to film that. They went there specifically to film it. The guy, Bob Hieronymus, who says he was Bigfoot, when you see him walk, he's this big old gangly cowboy looking dude. When you see him walk, he walks exactly like that Bigfoot
You
thing
think it was
did.
him?
100%.
Huh.
Yeah. They even have a receipt from a fucking gorilla suit that they bought. Have you ever seen him walking side by side? Find a video of Bob Hieronymus walking side by side with the original Patterson footage. So they show the Bigfoot walking and then Bob walking, and you're like, oh. Like, I mean, because he looked like a Bigfoot. The guy was a fucking, there's dudes, the big old cowboy looking dudes, big old fucking farm country strong dudes.
Yeah.
They look like apish. They're just big old fuckers. And this guy was one of those guys. And you see him walking, and he walks right, they superimpose it. They put side by side, rather. And when they do it, you go, oh, yeah, definitely.
What a disappointment.
Do you want to believe that it's real?
No, I don't want to believe.
Did you ever believe it was real?
When I was 8, yeah.
And when you're 9, you're like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, but my God, there's people to this day, those hardcore Bigfoot people are cult members. They really are. They decide to shut off a part of their brain that critically looks at information.
Aren't there any eyewitnesses who strike you as credible? I was talking to Les Stroud about this. Do you know Les? I was talking to Les once about this, I think.
Yeah, Les, he's a very credible guy in terms of like survival tactics. He knows a lot about that. But he didn't see one with his own eyes. He heard something, and he heard noises that sounded chimpanzee-like. Bears make those noises all the time. I've seen bears make those. I've watched bears make those noises. They make them particularly when they're fighting with each other. They sound very much like gorillas. They do that all the time. So if you were alone in the woods and you heard that and you heard smashing and thumping around, you're like, oh my God, there's a gorilla out there. Oh my God, there's some kind of a primate out there. There have been people that have spotted things that are very eerily similar to what you would think is a large bipedal ape. The problem is a lot of these places are heavily wooded and populated by bears, and bears walk on two legs all the time. So there's Bob, and there's the Bigfoot, right? I mean, case closed, right?
I never saw that.
I mean, look at that dude. Look, isn't he like what I said? Big old country dude?
Yeah.
I mean, we see that guy walking, and you imagine him with a fucking gorilla suit on. I mean, it doesn't even look good. It looks like shit. I mean, look at that thing. It looks like a guy in a gorilla suit. And in my opinion, everything that looks fake is fake. I've never seen anything that looks fake that's real. I mean, I could be wrong. Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But I definitely know that the guy that there's a whole paper trail of buying a gorilla. Is that what he's saying? That's the suit?
I honestly don't know. I've never seen this video. I was trying to find the side by side. I was having a hard time finding it, and this is the one I picked. And
Okay, so he's saying that that's what he wore. But that thing does look like it. If you go back to that video, that photo of where he's holding up that suit, that looks pretty fucking similar, man. Pretty fucking similar. And all you'd have to do is put that thing on and walk through the woods. And it's just too convenient. All of it's too convenient. That the fact that the guy went looking for it and found it and filmed it, and the whole thing's corny. It's corny.
Data matters.
Data does matter, and there's no real data in terms of genetics. There's been a lot of like goofy talk that they found like some kind of human DNA and samples of hair. The problem with that is all that DNA's been contaminated. I actually talked to an actual biologist about this, and we did an episode of Joe Rogan Questions Everything for the Sci-Fi Channel on Bigfoot. We hung around with Bigfoot hunters. Duncan and I went out with them and looking for Bigfoot and camping with them and everything. And it's people that are just looking for something, and some of them have had experiences. Some of them have said they've seen things, but it's just all of it just reeks of horseshit. And it's unfortunate because I think at one point in time it was real. I think almost certainly at one point in time, human beings did interact with Gigantopithecus. It was a real animal. You know about that?
Mm-hmm.
And Gigantopithecus matches exactly like what people talk about when they talk about Sasquatch. It looks exactly like that. An enormous bipedal hominid that was, maybe more than 8 feet tall. And they found out about this thing by accident when a guy was looking in an apothecary shop in China, and he found gigantic teeth that were clearly primate teeth. He's like, where'd you find these? And they go there and they go to the site and they dig out jaw bones that indicate it was bipedal. And so now they know it's a real thing that existed. And I think they date that to, when do they date? I think they date that to 100,000 years ago. When do they date Gigantopithecus to?
Wikipedia says roughly 2 million to 350,000 years.
350,000. I thought it was closer. I thought it was closer to us.
That's just what Wikipedia says. I have to see if there's other disputes or something.
Yeah, see if because I'd read that the carbon date that they did on these teeth. I think they said that was somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 and something thousand years ago. So that would put it, with semi-modern looking human beings.
Mm-hmm.
So the question
Very
is
modern.
Right, and then the question is like, how long did it survive? Like, just because you find something, like, say if you find one that's 200,000 years old, doesn't mean that it didn't exist 100,000 years ago or even 50,000 years ago. Like, when was the last one? When did they die off? And when did humans encounter them? And if you look at their range, like if they found them in Asia, and then you look at the Bering landmass, and you look at where does it drop off? Well, it drops off in the Pacific Northwest. Like, that's like literally like goes down Alaska, makes its way down the coast, dense forest, which is where a thing like that. So proteins extracted from a roughly 1.9 million year old tooth of the aptly named Gigantopithecus is a close relative to modern orangutans. So protein comparisons amongst living fossil apes suggest that Gigantopithecus and orangutan forerunners diverged from a common ancestor between 10 and 12 million years ago.
Jeez.
But when did it die off?
It says the same thing. It says they hadn't found anything from
300,000
the
years
late
ago.
Pleistocene era. They only have this from the early part of it.
Okay, so it said the fossils date from around 2 million to almost 300,000 years ago. The sizes of individual teeth and jaws indicate that it weighed between 200 and 300 kilograms. That's a big fucker. Interesting. So that was Bigfoot. So if humans did make it to the point where we had language and the ability to communicate ideas, they probably would communicate about all these creatures that they encountered, and that would be one of them.
Yeah.
But the actual like Patterson footage Bigfoot, that's horseshit. There's just too many hunters out there, too many hikers
Who would have seen something?
Yeah, they don't see anything.
Yeah.
I've talked to many people that have they've spent months in the backwoods. I know multiple guys that do, like my friend Adam Greentree from Australia. Every year he comes to America and he'll do a remote wilderness elk hunt solo. And he live streams it. He puts it like pieces of it on his Instagram. And he was out there for 28 days. He did see a grizzly bear a couple years back, which is not supposed to be there in the
Where?
San Juan Mountains of Colorado. But that's close to Wyoming, and Wyoming is a habitat for grizzlies, and it makes sense that grizzlies would go across the border and make their way in there. And there's been historical sightings of things that people thought were grizzly bears there, but no Bigfoots. None. Zero. You would think somebody would get a camera footage shot of it, like from these trail cams or camera traps or something. I mean, nothing.
And you personally never heard or experienced anything?
No. Like a Bigfoot thing?
Yeah.
You don't think I would say that first? That'd be the first
Maybe
thing
you're
I would
holding
say.
out, Joe.
No. Was Michael Landon Aquaman?
Patrick Duffy.
Patrick Duffy was Aquaman.
Man from Atlantis.
Man from Atlantis.
I
That's
saw
right.
the first thing, dude, the first time I ever saw something being filmed in California. I had just come out from Ohio. It was 1976.
Whoa.
And the traffic was all blocked off at the Malibu Pier. And I got out of and I saw the lights. It was in the daytime. It was so long ago they still had lights for daytime shooting. And they were about to do a stunt where Patrick Duffy, is the man from Atlantis, was going to jump off the Malibu pier. And I was so fucking excited.
I used to try to swim like him. Because remember the man from Atlantis? He would swim like a porpoise.
He swam like a porpoise. And my favorite thing was what made him from Atlantis was this part of his body had a web.
Yes.
That's it. This was it. Right here. That was all I had.
And couldn't he breathe underwater?
He could breathe underwater, but this made... That was all they could afford with the special effects.
It's a webbing between his thumb and forefinger.
I'm so into Atlantis. I'm like a big Atlantis guy anyway.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I love it. I'm trying to figure out where it was.
They think they found it. They think they found something that represents exactly what the depictions of Atlantis were, like these rings, concentric rings. They think that there's some place, oh God, I want to say off Spain, off the coast of Spain.
But isn't our guy Graham saying that basically Atlantis was the pre-existing civilization, and it was not an island or one place; it was all of it.
Yeah, that's what they think. But it's all speculation. But whatever it was, there's so many different versions of that. So many different versions of this like spectacular seaport civilization that was destroyed in the flood. Like the flood of the Bible, like Noah's Ark, there's an ancient story called the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and in that story is a very similar story about a flood. And this is one of the things that Graham Hancock points to, that there's all these civilizations that talk about
that had no interaction with each other in theory, and yet they all have the same oral histories. I did a show with my boys called the Low Files, and it was basically it was an excuse for my boys and I to run around in a souped-up Raptor around the country and explore urban legends.
Oh wow!
And it was Anthony Bourdain meets Scooby-Doo. That's what it was. It was a fucking dream come true.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
It was a dream come true.
What network was this for?
A&E. They were great that they let us do it, but it couldn't have been a worse fit. When they put us with Ancient Aliens for one night, we blew the roof off the place.
Really?
And we got to look for the wood ape. We got to look for Bigfoot. We did poltergeists.
The Low Files.
See if you can find the opening credits for the Low Files. It's one of my proudest moments.
What year is this?
Like 4 years ago. Let's see if they have it.
Give me some volume on this.
Spooky legends and scary mysteries.
Are we going to get in trouble for using Blue Oyster Cult?
Wait, Joe didn't see my homage, the very, very end, my homage to Hawaii Five-0. It's the very last 30 seconds of the clip. You have to see it because I'm sure you remember this great shot from Jack Lord's credits in the end of Hawaii Five-0. It's right at the end. Go over from here, right here. Watch, here it comes. Do you remember that shot in the balcony?
I do. That's why you did it.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
I know. I designed that whole credit sequence. I got the song. I did the whole. It's one of my favorite things I've done.
Blue Oyster Cult. Don't Fear the Reaper.
It's best.
It's a great fucking song. So, what are the subjects? You went for Bigfoot?
We did Bigfoot twice. We did Bigfoot up in Northern California in Walnut Creek, the famous the Patterson Gimlin film was shot. We did turns out the wood ape of Arkansas, Oklahoma is the most active place. And that was where we had some really radical experiences where I heard stuff. And
you heard
Matthew,
stuff?
Oh yeah. I heard like lip popping, like chest beating.
Really? Like you really think it was real?
I heard chest beating. I don't know.
You know who made a great fucking Bigfoot movie? Bobcat Goldthwait.
What?
Yup. He made a great Bigfoot movie.
Come on.
Scary Bigfoot movie. What is it called again? Do you remember? Willow Creek.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you remember, you ever seen, okay, what is that?
He did it like Blair Witch style.
I'm writing that down. I love that.
It's fucking good, man.
We had a great time, and we went with all these guys who are like real legit people. They're like regular people, and they spend their time out in the woods, and they know how many are out there, and it was crazy. Matthew, my youngest son, through the thermal imaging, saw him hiding, like doing the thing where they hide behind the tree.
So you really think that Bigfoot's real?
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Like like the slogan for the Low Files was, "It's more fun to believe."
It definitely is more fun to believe.
And that's really where I come down on it. It's like, I don't have a dog in the fight, but it's way more fucking fun.
For sure. Way more fun. I want Bigfoot to be real. I've always wanted it to be real. The problem is the people looking at it also want it to be real.
Yes.
They're trying so hard. They see shadows. They think that are Bigfoot. There's some interesting things. There's some interesting things in terms of like dermal ridges they found on footprints. And there's also
and there's a lot of hair samples and shit that come back and they don't know what they got them from.
Not really.
Really?
See, yeah, I looked into that.
Oh, tell me everything.
I did a show called Joe Rogan Questions Everything for Sci-Fi. And me and my buddy Duncan went up to the Pacific Northwest. And we brought stuff to real biologists, and we actually had samples analyzed. They're all bare, and then when they say that there's some human or primate DNA, it's always contaminated. It's like the chain of custody between the actual piece of hair and getting it to the lab is always contaminated.
Right, yeah.
There's no one just stops.
No, it's next to their granola bars and their backpacks.
People
They're hiking
touch
out.
it.
Yeah.
If you touch something, you get your sweat on it, and it could show up as human DNA or animal DNA mixed with human DNA. It's the problem is the people that are into it. The real problem is they want to believe so fucking bad that they just have this crazy confirmation bias, and they only look at the good things.
Well, my favorite episodes of the Low Files were the ones where we didn't find shit. They were my favorite
Just having fun.
Because it's just a dad and two idiot kids, having a blast.
The thing about Bigfoot that's interesting is Native Americans had more than 100 different names for that animal.
Yes.
And they don't have names for other mythical creatures. And then on top of that, there was an actual animal called a Gigantopithecus, and it was a huge ape-like creature that stood on two legs and walked upright and was probably some sort of, looked like orangutan-like. It probably looked exactly like what we think of as Bigfoot. It was an actual real animal. Have you ever seen the images of that?
I have, and it's funny, there's the deep connection between Native Americans and that legend is really, really profound. Like I've had... In one of the episodes that we did, we talk with some of the elders, and they would say, "No, one reached through the window and touched my chest," and it's like you're like, this guy's not crazy. I'm not talking to a crazy person,
right? But they also have peyote.
Well, that's
Native
true.
Americans have other shit.
That's true.
Would let you see Bigfoot. Maybe that's the thing. Like you only see Bigfoot. Bigfoot's real, but he's interdimensional. You only see him when you're on drugs. That could happen. That absolutely could be real. Like if you get on the right psychedelics, you'll meet aliens.
Well, it's fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, Les Stroud. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Joseph.
You're a fucking man's man. I love you. I'm always happy to talk to you.
Thanks, brother.
And I really do mean that.
You were supposed to come out with me, though, but you pussied out.
Not pussied out.
No, seriously.
I just wanted to see, give you some time on your own, see if you found it. And then if you didn't, I confirmed my suspicions. Here's the problem, man. These guys, they go looking for it. They're almost all full of shit.
Have you ever fucked an animal before you ate it?
Hey, easy, dude.
Before what?
Before you ate it?
You didn't see that? The outtakes?
That's not. Listen, this is not
I mean,
appropriate.
you're alone in the woods. No one's looking.
This sounds like a confession, honestly. That's what I'm thinking.
Let's get back to Bigfoot. Okay. Even if you're a non-believer, ladies and gentlemen, I recommend 3 bong hits and some good friends, and you will enjoy this goddamn show. Let's cut to the short and curlies. What have you seen? What is the craziest shit that you've seen?
No one will ever know.
Just open up.
No.
Wait, you're not willing to suffer? You can't suffer a little? You do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Dudes, you guys are ugly.
You look like shit.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's what.
Oh, this better be good.
Fuck. I'm not even going
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm not telling you.
Come on, we got to joke around. We're drinking. We have a little Guinness, a little marijuana. We're talking Bigfoot. You can't take this seriously. Sorry.
You got energy, man.
You're beautiful too, man. You got character. You got a different kind of pretty going on.
Like, oh God, you killed me.
Okay, now let's get back to the short and curlies. What have you seen?
Well, first of all, picture the scene. I'm there.
Let me take my pants off.
Middle of nowhere.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on, do you want? There should be some hand cream over there.
I don't need that shit. I dry jack. I'm a man. I don't want to be dependent on lotion like some pussy.
So on the top of the mountain in Radium,
Radium? Where's that?
Radium Springs, British Columbia. First time in my life ever.
That's a big area, right? Big high sightings.
No, it's a small area. But big area for the sightings, yeah. First time ever, first of all, I'd never have claimed this. I saw big freaking lights in the sky I couldn't explain. I'm like looking and going, what the? And there they are. It's the whole classic UFO thing. I was like, what the? I've never seen anything like that. I don't claim anything like that.
This is while you were filming the show?
So this is while I'm on the top of the mountain while I'm filming the show. I'm looking at these big ass lights, way bigger. If it was a plane, it was bigger than the Concorde.
Whoa.
And they just hovered there. And they're gone like that. Just gone.
So the best thing you saw was nothing. The best thing you saw was shit disappearing.
You gotta have to watch the episode.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
No,
I'm not gonna.
All right, so on one of the episodes. All right, so here. All right, on one of the
I'm gonna have to
episodes.
light a joint. I can't believe you said that.
All right, no, I'm going to tell you, so you don't have to watch the episode. Okay, so spoiler alert on the episode. You watch the episode where I'm going to go up to the top of the mountain in Radium. And that night...
everybody, here's a spoiler alert. Finding Bigfoot ain't finding shit. There's a spoiler alert. Here, eat that. That's a... take a hit of that. It'll tell you the truth. It'll talk to you.
When you're surviving,
Speak
couldn't
to
you just
your
wrap
spirit
up
animal.
food in plastic and then eat it and then poop it out and eat it later? Like, untake the plastic off and eat it?
What? Jesus Christ.
It seems like it could work.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Did you do the howling?
That was a big... of course.
Like they do?
Hoop.
The hoop?
Whoop, 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 whoop.
You calling for some dick. That's the worst. When you get there, he thinks you're a dick tease, just beats the shit out of you. A horny Bigfoot wasting his time. It's like, you don't want to be a fake Bigfoot Tinder. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not a bad idea.
What the fuck, dude?
Boom.
What am I going to fake this whole thing out for you?
Yeah.
How dare you treat me like
Yeah,
such
it's just
fucking
lame.
ignorance. Jamie, pull up this image. This is a close-up of a Bigfoot, and I'm doing air quotes. A Bigfoot. You got this, Jamie? Pull that shit up. Show the people.
Right.
This is a close-up. This dude just got a Bigfoot to stand still. He's the only guy in history.
Yeah, so... It's exactly... You know what? The bottom line was I thought, okay...
What do they eat? What the fuck do they eat?
Anything they want.
Yeah, what do they eat? I mean, that must be a fucking hungry bitch. Look at the size of that thing. I can't believe you didn't like fully research this.
Yeah, but I'm not going to try it. I'm not going to cut it.
What if? What do you think Bigfoot eats? What we need to do is get Bigfoot and the tiger together in the octagon and see who's the king of the goddamn forest.
My money's on Tiger.
Yeah, I'd take tiger over Bigfoot all day. Mm-hmm. When was the last time Bigfoot jumped 14 feet through the air to bitch slap somebody?
Oh, man, I could go so far on that story.
Don't even bother. It's almost 12:30 in the morning. It's late. You look like shit. I don't really mean that. I'm just talking. Relax. Relax.
Sweet back pedal going on there. I'm tapping out.
Okay. Survivor Man, Bigfoot,